It's New Brew Thursday.
Woo!
And I didn't woo, by the way.
Well, and you always kind of build up on your New Brew Thursdays. It's like, it's New Brew Thursday.
I thought it was well executed.
Thank you. Yeah, stop hating.
I'm not hating, I'm just observing.
Okay. So this week we're doing a beer from Alpine Brewing.
Have we done Alpine before?
Yes.
What did we do?
Yeah, what have we
know.
done?
Probably not.
Yeah, I don't think we have.
We've drank a lot of their beer.
I think we've done it on Master Pairings.
We've done Duet, I think, on Master Pairings.
Oh,
But I don't
there
think
you
we've...
go.
I don't think we've ever done Alpine on the show.
I can't remember, but so...
And that seems odd to me, though, because we are huge, like...
And you know,
Yeah.
it's one of those things, though, where it's like, I think the reason we haven't done it is because they're so local and so awesome that it's like, why would we tease people?
Yeah, they're not particularly widely
But since they're
accessible.
expanding like 600%,
Right.
They are going for it, and good on them.
why
Finally.
not?
Yeah,
I'm really excited
maybe I'll
about
get
that.
some more pure happiness in my mouth.
But
Yes.
at the same time, we're doing a beer that you probably can't get.
Yeah. You know, it's what we do.
This is an Alpine promotion.
And it's not just because of Alpine. It's also it's a beer called Magnificent Seven that they did with City Beer up in San Francisco.
Anybody get the Magnificent Seven reference?
The movie,
Yes.
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah, the series of comedy movies, right? Comedy westerns.
I thought there was no
So the beer.
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong too. So whatever. That was completely off the cuff.
comedy western.
I think isn't the Magnificent Seven? Isn't that like a series of comedy westerns?
I know it's a Western. I don't know if it's comedic though.
Doesn't
Okay.
matter.
So,
But this
no,
is
we didn't get it. Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, this is Alpine's Magnificent Seven.
Can we drink it? For the love of all that is holy.
So John, why is this called Magnificent Seven?
Well, I'll tell you, Matt. It's made with, okay, correct me if I'm wrong, 7 different hops at 7 different addition times and 7 different malts.
Yes. And it's 7.7%.
And 7.7%. This is the luckiest beer you could ever drink.
Yeah. Also, the other reason is this was made for City Beer Store's 7th anniversary.
Another 7.
Yes.
And when we talked about doing this show, I was drinking a 7 and 7. Little known fact.
Were you really?
No, just kidding.
Dang! You should have gone with it.
I
But
know.
7 and 7
I
is like
can't
the
lie.
ultimate like old lady like 7 and 7. My grandma used to
Makes
drink 7 and
sense.
7.
Yeah.
This was also provided by, cheers.
Cheers.
A new friend of mine and ours. His name's David. On Twitter, I think he's either Beer Bikes or Bikes Beer, and on Instagram, he's Ride Bikes Drink Beer.
Yeah, he's
He's
like.
into bikes and beer.
I always see
Yeah.
him pop up like he likes your picture, and I'm like, oh, thanks, guy.
Yeah, like bicycle bikes. Like he's a punk rocker with tattoos.
Yeah, not
So,
bikes like bikes.
Thanks, David.
Thanks, dude.
This smells good.
It's lovely. See, the thing is with the Alpine is they're kind of like hop wizards.
Yes, but
They,
the
like-
first thing I thought with this was I love that it's just not hops. There's a lot of malt character happening here.
Yeah, exactly. Well, 7 malts. It's gonna. Honestly, I'm wondering which 7 they use because it's not a particularly dark beer. I mean, they have to be. I'm wondering
Crystal
if they're
10,
using like.
Crystal 15, Crystal 20.
Does that count? Does that count though as different hops or different malts?
Sure, why not?
Yeah. Well,
It
yeah,
all
because
adds up.
I mean, if you have a crystal, if you have the same like color crystal from 5 different maltsters, they're gonna taste way different.
That's true,
So,
yeah.
So that actually could be it too if they use like the same
I want to be
color
a
but from
maltster.
different.
No, you don't.
That's the coolest sounding job name ever.
That's
It
hard.
sounds like an
I'm a
insult to me.
maltster.
You gotta be
It sounds like
a
an insult.
farmer and scientist. Like
Yeah.
I am none of those things.
yeah.
Then you,
I don't like
and
science.
like that and like a coffee roaster too because it's
Yeah,
the same thing.
exactly.
You know, you got the drum roasters and stuff.
Props to maltsters, man.
Good job, Maltsters.
And you
Yeah.
have cool titles.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm getting a bit of dankiness off this, but not much. But also not a ton of citrus, but it's kind of going in both directions just a little bit.
I think
almost-
this smells perfectly balanced.
I get a lot of floral notes out of it actually.
As far
Like,
as like an excessive amount of hops and an excessive maltiness.
The mouthfeel is definitely really nice. You're not getting that hop like on your tongue.
the hop what?
No, it's not overpowering at all.
More in the back of the tongue.
It is on the back of the tongue.
No, more,
It
more
wouldn't have
like,
written out. That was awesome.
I think my new thing for the show is to just let you guys do the show, and then when you're done,
You can talk about the beers.
Then John can be informative.
I'm sorry. No, that was the best segue into Monty Python ever, though. So.
It was
Can we
good.
stop the Monty Python?
Okay, anyway.
Because I don't like Monty Python.
Where were we? No, okay, so talking about the balance of the beer. When you drink a lot of, like, super hoppy beers, you get that whole, like, tongue scraping effect where it's just like your tongue's just completely thrashed and your mouth is dried out, whatever. But this
The roughness, yeah.
Yeah, the balance on this is really nice. So the mouthfeel feels good. I feel like I could drink a lot of this.
It's hard because I'm getting kind of a residual hop coating on my tongue. Okay, before this we had Matt's newest creation from Packing House, Theta, which is
The orange Lazarus.
his orange, and it was a really danky hoppy beer, and I don't think that's like bleeding over into this, but when you initially drink this, it does have like a very nice malt presence, hop presence. But perhaps after a while, it does just kind of linger.
Well, yeah, and that's true.
Right?
And,
Am I
yeah,
wrong?
I mean, we drinking IPA before here probably wasn't the best decision because there actually is a certain numbing effect after a while. You know, I mean, as far as like, I don't know.
Well, it's not like we pounded a growler of it.
Well, no,
you know.
but even then, there
actually
is a certain.
That was a liter.
It was a half
Each.
growler. No, it was not a liter each. But there is a certain level of deadening that happens to the tongue. But honestly, it's one of those things that for me, that's always been more of a texture thing as far as like how a beer sits on my tongue. Because I mean, most of the flavor that you get is from smell, anyways. You know, and that isn't going to be.
No, I'm
really
talking
like,
that like hop coating,
or like
you get.
like that sticky like.
Where it's like the flavor
oily
profile,
kind of
the tongue profile, everything is from your last beer that you've had.
tongue profile.
The tongue profile.
Or
the way your
palate.
tongue feels.
No,
The profiling of a tongue on the next CSI.
I think
Sounds like a one-man show.
I mean,
profiling of a
just
tongue.
the filing of a tongue.
Profiling. of a tongue.
Not the defiling of a tongue. Although that
It would
could
be
fun,
like
too.
Robert Parker's one-man show. He's like sitting up on a stool, like singing aloud on him. I have drank wine.
All right, well, I think I'm gonna let you guys take a breather,
Yeah, that's a good idea.
and we're gonna go to what?
That's a good idea.
Master Pairings. Oh my god, I forgot we were doing that.
That's right.
Master Pairings.
So,
Let's go see what's going on in Bill's kitchen these days.
That I
Yep.
miss.
well.
Shut up, Matt.
Hey everyone, welcome to another Master Pairing. I'm Bill Sysak. This is Renee Rounds from Renee Rounds Photography.
Yes.
Yes, very cool. Good to see you, Renee.
Nice to see you.
Renee also works at,
Bottle Craft Beer Shop in Little Italy, San Diego.
and they have a lot of great beers, and Renee's one of the people that will be there to help you when you come in and buy some beers, and you can also drink there too, right?
Yes, you can. We actually do flights every day, so we do different breweries or different styles, and you can come in, and if you're new to beer or if you love beer and been drinking for a while, you can try multiple different beers right on the spot.
So I know a lot of you, this whole beginning of this segment was kind of like wah wah, wah wah wah, wah wah wah, because you're staring at these things in front of this beer and you're like not paying attention. So make sure you rewind and listen to all that so you know of a great beer store to go to. So yes, we do have Mrs. Freshley's, what do you call these things again?
Sno Balls.
Sno Balls, yes. So we have Mrs. Freshley's. Hostess, I go artisanal, Greg, so I'm going Mrs. Freshley's instead of the big mass marketed brands. I know Greg is like turning it off right now. He's going, oh my God, he's using another processed food. But this is part of my series. Once again, let me explain myself. Part of my series of late night drinking pairings. You should always be thinking of pairing your beer with your food. So even though this isn't something I don't know if I've ever had a snowball, to be perfectly honest, but I know what the flavor profiles are. Cream, a little chocolate, a little coconut, pink, food coloring on the top. But
coloring.
people come home late at night, they're safe and sound, they have a nightcap, they grab something out of their pantry, and I know some of you guys have snowballs in your pantry. And when you're gonna grab it, you should have the right beer for it, because that's just how I roll. So Today we have a great beer from Ritual Brewing out of Redlands. It's their Fat Hog barley wine. It's an amazing barley wine, 11.6% alcohol. So without any further ado, let me go ahead and open this up. Even though it's a West Coast barley wine, it definitely plays that perfect balance of English-style barley wine.
It definitely has that like malty sweetness in the beginning, and then it really finishes with a nice hoppiness.
Now, I should say we are drinking this at room temperature. I like to drink my barley wines, my imperial stouts like that. I don't like to wait around for them to warm up in your glass so you get all these incredible nuances and esters and things. So it's really complex, really delicious. 11.6, not a lot of fusel alcohol notes.
No.
Really yummy. So shall we try the grand experiment and see what some of you guys are eating late at night? Cheers.
Cheers. A lot more marshmallowy than I remember.
Yes, marshmallowy, rubbery, some type of chocolate cake, some type of processed cream.
There are some kind of food coloring flavors in there, definitely. I get some yellow 5.
Nice. All right, let's see how it holds up to the beer. Once again, it's another example of a great beer elevating
really worked well with that.
A Mrs. Freshly product to a new level that she's never believed or desired. Now, I don't put this in your school kid's lunch, but Mrs. Freshly's and a little barley wine, especially a great one like this one, the Fat Hog.
It really brings out the sweetness in the beginning of it, but that chocolate.
You notice it brings out this almost burnt toffee notes to the front of the beer because this is so sweet, obviously.
Yeah.
So it brings out this burnt toffee notes that really add a new complexity to the beer. So it's the bitterness that runs across the front of your palate. And then almost it's like, it's not coffee, but it has the same effect as the way the coffee lands on your palate if you're drinking it black, where it comes, this bitterness kind of runs right up the center of your tongue and down.
Straight back.
And so it's definitely there. And it's from the... treat. I don't even know. Oh, there's the cream. All right. Let me give this another little
Break
shot.
in there.
Uh-oh. Sorry, Mrs. Freshly.
Oh my gosh. There is a marshmallow coating on there.
Sweet.
We're not doing any justice to Mrs. Freshly's.
Oh. The cream brings out a whole other nuance to it. It's very sweet. But my crew is falling on the ground back there, so I'm sorry. It's hard to keep a straight face. But I will say the pairing is excellent. Barley wines go beautifully with sweeter desserts. You can go on one spectrum, creme brulee. You can work into pecan pies and pick up those caramel toffee notes. But you can do these very decadent things. You can do a cake with buttercream icing. Goes beautifully, a white cake, even a chocolate cake.
Something really rich.
And then you can go way off the end of the spectrum and get a Mrs. Freshly's Sno Ball. And you're going to get all those characteristics. But once again, it's a case where you have a food item, you have a beer item. The beer's already amazing, but we've just now elevated the food to a new level. So I, for one, will never have a Mrs. Freshly Sno Ball again without a barley wine like this. So, Renee, thank you for coming.
Thank you so much, Bill. This was great.
Cheers, everyone. Thanks for watching.
Welcome back.
Hi.
Hey.
All right. I was waiting for you guys to go.
Yeah.
So anyway, back to Alpine. We recognize that Alpine is essentially known for pure happiness, exponential happiness, Duet, Nelson, beers that are just phenomenally amazing.
They know
Bad
how
awesome,
Boy.
epic IPAs.
Yeah, they know how to
Birthday.
They know how to.
Yeah, hoppy or yeah.
Dude, something like, I think
I just can't talk.
we're so enthusiastic.
I so don't want to yell over you guys.
But you should.
No, that's the story of
Or
my life.
slap us or something.
So, John,
That might be interesting.
Everything you guys just said. No, Alpine's known for hoppy beers. They know how to brew with hops. Like in that classic Southern California, almost Alpine way. You can almost distinguish an Alpine beer from other breweries in Southern California.
Well, yeah, it's great because it's almost like, to the rest of the country. I mean, when you think San Diego style IPA, I mean, you think of the big guys, you think of Green Flash, you think of Stone. For me, like, if someone says San Diego IPA, I think Alpine because they kind of define the style for me. I mean, especially Duet Pure Hoppiness because they're super dry. They're lighter in color, and they're just hops in your face.
To me,
like they took it to the extreme.
To me, they do the best job of showcasing the flavor of whatever hops they're using. Like if I think about Nelson beers, if you really want to know what the Nelson hop does for a beer, Alpine's Nelson is the beer you drink.
Is it?
I mean, there are other Nelson beers out there, but they don't showcase that hop as well as Nelson does.
That's a good way to put it.
And so when we look at this beer, though, this is an IPA that they bring some malts to, and it's like, here we're going to also showcase our malt handling because they do a really good porter. They do a red ale that's really good.
Keep in mind there's seven malts in this. And we were joking earlier about Crystal 10, 15, 20.
Yeah.
But we have no idea what's in this. It's fairly yellow, and
I guess like a Munich Vienna.
Straw colored, perhaps.
yeah, who knows what malts they used, but they used them in a way where they could showcase the malts and still have the hops come out and kind of not punch you in the face, but they're present in a very big way.
Yeah.
Nice bittering, good aroma.
I mean, it's just they're such an awesome brewery, and I mean the fact that they're expanding as much as they are,
Awesome.
is
It's very nice.
Yeah,
yes.
that's a treat for America at this point. No, it really is because, and I'm sick and tired of. Okay, I got a little pissed.
He's like,
I'm really tired of people going, "Oh, this isn't a West Coast IPA. It's not a SoCal." No, Southern California IPAs and hoppy beers are awesome, and bad on you for saying this isn't a Southern California IPA. It's one thing to say this is not a SoCal IPA, but another to have that tone in your voice where it's like, yeah, it's not hoppy. It's a balanced IPA. Dude, just IPA is a very broad style.
Yeah.
Okay, and Alpine has done an exemplary job of just perfecting IPA and hoppy beers and working with hops. So for someone to say, "Oh, great, more Southern California beer," because Alpine is, and I have seen that. That's just,
Dude,
it's just messed up because Alpine is such a treat. I live in Southern California, and I don't go down. Like I can only get their beers if I go to some shops around here or to Alpine itself. And Alpine is an hour and 45 minutes away from my house. So
Yeah. I'm sorry.
it just offends me.
Anybody who uses that like,
You offended him. Way to go.
Yeah, jerk.
Yeah, really, it is offensive
well,
because
anyone
and
who
I'm
uses
defending
that-
SoCal, but damn it, Alpine is a good brewery.
Yeah, but anyone
You know?
who uses that tone that's like, oh, well, I know something, and I'm going to be
those
critical
are the craft
for
beer
some
douchebags that
reason.
favor.
Well, I'm not trying
web
to
forums
call
and,
people names.
Yeah, whatever. So,
But I'm just saying, don't
It's not productive.
we'd be
anyway.
we'd be
Who knows
remiss.
if it's like people just like poo-pooing on SoCal to poo-poo on SoCal. I mean, because you can't deny that the beers that come out of Southern California are awesome. And the fact that more people have access to Alpine Brewing is
it's
awesome.
like it's good for everybody.
Well,
all I'm
and
trying to say. I'm
we'd
done.
be remiss if we didn't also talk a little bit about City Beer Store because it's an awesome little bottle shop up
of course.
in San Francisco. Well, it is kind of little. I mean,
Actually, they just expanded though.
did they? I haven't seen the expansion. I haven't been up there for about a year.
Yeah,
or so.
I believe they. Correct me if I'm wrong, internet, but I believe they just expanded because the last time that I was there was a few years ago, and it was like one of those things where you walked in and it was a relatively small room. They had like a relatively small.
You go
kitchen bar, but I
downstairs.
feel
They have like two little tables. They have like a warm or a cold section and a warm section, and that's it.
I'm pretty sure they're bigger now.
Well,
Actually, I'm going to find out because this weekend I'm going to the Bay Area instead of going to Master Pairings.
Yeah.
Good job with
Whatever.
the scheduling there, fellas.
Even though there's a Master Pairings on this show. This was the week before.
Yeah. So anyway,
Magic of
good
the
on
internet.
City Bear, and they're awesome. If you're in the area,
It's
City
not,
Bear.
it's not City Bear.
City Bear.
It's City Beer.
If you're in
That's the bear bar next door.
Next door.
yeah, exactly. if you're in the San Francisco
There is
area,
actually, I think, a leather bar next door.
Is it called City Bear?
No, but it should be.
It should be.
If you are in the San Francisco Bay
Although it
Area.
would cause a lot of confusion. I'm going to
Especially,
City Beer.
especially with
Really?
Thirsty Bear about a block and a half over.
Thirsty Bear, City Beer, City Bear. Well, you know, if Thirsty Bear and City Beer get together,
It's the bear block.
Right.
Yes.
So exactly.
It's the beer.
So anyway,
bear
this
beer
is
block.
this was a lot of bears and beers and hops. So it was awesome. So Alpine, awesome. City Beer, congratulations on 7
David.
great years.
Thanks again, man.
And David, thank you for sending us the beer. And if you want to send us beer, because we know you want to, and you're just wondering, how do I do it? Check out the contact us on the website. And you can also find out where I live, and you can stalk me if you'd like. What else?
Or I can meet up with you and trade if you're in Orange County.
Or, you know, Matt can meet you in San Francisco.
yeah,
sounded weird.
Yeah,
Everybody just fly to San Francisco. We'll meet up at the City Burr and throw our leather on and trade some beers.
I like how you just mumbled it. It's like City Burr. Yeah, that's the in between. Where you're like, where are you going? The City Burr. It's like, well, there's
City
two
Burr.
places.
Like, is it cold?
Okay, this is going off the rails. So until next week, stay safe and drink beer.
This is going off the rails. Let's cut this shit off right now.